What's up, YouTube fam? It's your boy Tyshawn, aka TY. Got a special guest here by the name of Brandy, and we're gonna talk a little bit about her weight loss journey, her lifestyle changes that she had to make, and things of that nature. We're gonna talk about a lot. So let's go ahead and get into it. Brandy, how you doing today?
I'm good. How are you,
Good.
Tyshawn?
I'm doing good. Nice meeting you.
It's
We've
good
been
to meet
following
you.
each other on Instagram. I've seen your journey. I want to first give you flowers. Amazing transformation. You look
Thank
great.
you.
I seen a lot of your before pictures, and seeing you now is just like a pause. So just want to definitely give your flowers. I know how hard it is, and you look great, amazing. You did a
Thank
hell of a
you.
job for sure, for sure. So, but yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get into it though. So the first question I'm gonna ask you is, how when did this start? Like, have you always been big since a child? Did it kind of catch up on you in the teens or in your adult
So,
lifestyle, or when did you like how long have you been like big or overweight?
so yeah, pretty much my whole life I was overweight. But then whenever you get to college, they call it the freshman 15, and it just kind of like took off from there. And yeah, I was pretty much big from jump, and then it
Okay,
just
from
kind of
jump.
as life progressed,
Okay,
it got worse.
okay. I definitely understand. So you want to say, so has it been like so pretty much since you was a kid, like
Yeah,
young?
I was
Okay,
a pretty
okay,
chunky little kid.
okay. And it kind of caught up to you when you like got to like the adulthood, pretty
Mm-hmm.
much.
For sure.
Okay. So what do you think caused you to, get to your heaviest?
Yeah, it
Mhm.
was definitely a combination of like how I was eating and my lack of like activity. I didn't really do anything other than go to class, go to work, go home, study, and then just like get up the next day and do, pretty much the same thing all over
For
again.
sure. For sure. Okay. So like how was your eating growing up? Like was you kind of like addicted to food as a child? Did you kind of just like overate? Did you do like how was like your eating
Yeah,
habits and stuff growing up?
definitely. Well, I'm from the South, so like my
Yeah,
dad's from Louisiana, my mom is, from Texas. So everything with lots of fried food, lots of like um just very not the healthiest of eating. And you were raised, you're not getting up till you finish your plate. So then
yeah,
that kind of like you would be conditioned to finish everything. And
yeah,
then next thing you know, yeah, you're addicted to food. Like if I was stressed, I would I would eat. Happy, I would eat. Sad, I would eat. It just became a crutch or a reward depending on, what
right.
the situation was.
I did not ask you where you was from. I already knew, but they don't know. But I'm glad you said it. So you from Houston, Texas?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. So you did some good eating growing up over
Oh,
time, for sure.
definitely, and still
Yeah.
do. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I still eat, which is why I have to
Yeah.
go to the gym as much as I do.
For
Because
sure, for sure. Yeah, we definitely gonna get
I
into
I had
that.
to relearn my
Right.
relationship with food because it
Got you.
yeah, it kind of went the extreme opposite way for a little while.
Got you. Did you get your heaviest when you got to college or after college? When did you hit your heaviest or your
Um,
peak of
I would say my heaviest was
mhm.
probably like yeah, probably like 24, 25 because I'm 37 now. So
Okay,
it
okay,
was yeah, probably like 24, 25.
okay,
I
24,
weigh
25.
297 pounds and I'm 5'5". So
Wow.
that was a lot of
Yeah.
weight on not a big body frame.
Right. Well, you definitely carried it well. I know you wanted to get healthy and get the weight off, but you definitely carried it well
Thank you.
at that size for sure, for sure.
Thank you.
Okay, so to piggyback off of that, we were talking about your relationship with food. What did you have to change? Hold on, before I even get into that, you said your heaviest weight was
97,
297, and what was your lowest weight? What's the lowest you've gotten down to?
122.
To 122.
Mhm.
That is
But
amazing.
like I was so
That's
proud of the work
amazing.
that I did, and thank you. I really
Right.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
But like I, I looked like I just didn't look healthy. You could see like
Gotcha.
my rib cage. It just
Yeah.
I think because I went to such an opposite extreme where my focus
Mm.
became like, how low can the scale get? Not,
Right.
how can I do this in a healthy way? Like, I
For
cut
sure.
out so many things out of my diet. And it
For
was
sure.
literally like, I understand the mindset of like food is fuel because that's,
Yep. Yep.
that's, how I try to live my life now. But
Right.
it was too extreme to where I was not able to successfully get through my workouts because
Wow.
I had such little energy.
Yeah.
And
You.
so, the gym I was at, the girls there
Mm-hmm.
um, were so amazing, and they kind of like helped me relearn that relationship with food because like my gym was so like such a family oriented. Like after workouts, we would go
Yes.
eat,
Yeah.
and I would skip out on that. And so finally one day one of my girlfriends was like, what are you doing? Like, why do you never come eat with us? And
Right.
so yeah, it was a process for sure.
It was 297 and you got down to 122. What was the first thing you did? Was it hitting the gym? Was it the diet
No,
change? What was the
no.
first thing you did from
So
day one?
the first thing I did was
Mhm.
realize that I was not going to be able to cut everything out. It wasn't going to happen overnight. I
Right.
had to really just trust the process. And
Facts.
so it started with just like little walks in my neighborhood. I would add just like a different road and I would go further and further.
Wow.
And sodas. Oh man, I
Yeah,
had
for
to quit
sure.
drinking sodas because that was that was
Right.
like and chips. Those are like my two like
Yeah.
guilty pleasures.
Right. You cutting out so
Mhm.
many calories by just cutting out the soda. So that was an amazing start. So for sure.
Yeah.
And then you started walking. So you
Mhm.
kind of took your time and eased your way. Okay. Okay.
I did, and so, every day whenever I would come home, I would pass this CrossFit gym,
Uh-huh.
and so I lost, like, 50 pounds at this point, and
Wow.
so it's like, "Okay," well, they were running, like, a promotion where it was, like, "Try it for 6 weeks, you don't like it, get your money back," and I was like,
Right.
"What's the worst that could happen?" And so I am sitting outside the CrossFit gym and
Mhm.
I'm on the phone with my best friend and I'm telling her, I'm like, I'm in tears crying because I'm so intimidated. And I'm
Wow.
like, what am I doing? And she's like, go in. And I fell in love with it. It was probably
Wow.
one of the best decisions I ever made was to join that gym.
Wow, that's amazing. Okay, so when you first started, you cut sodas out first. You
Mhm.
started walking and you dropped 50 pounds by doing just that. Did you
It
alter
took like
anything else?
it took like 6 months
6 months.
to get that gone. I mean, I did start being a little more mindful of my food, but it
Right,
wasn't
right,
so much like I have to do this, and this.
right,
It was just like I made mindful decisions and they kind
right,
of
right,
started like adding up to
right,
where I was seeing progress.
right.
So I'm very competitive by nature. And so then it was
Yeah,
like, well, what can I do now?
right.
And so that's where it was like, well, what if I do start, CrossFit? Like, what's the worst that could happen? I hate it, you know?
Facts.
So
So
it
you
kind of just started like building.
right, right. That's amazing. You said that. So 50 pounds in 6 months is good too. There's a lot of people that can't even do that in a year or
Mhm.
2 years. So you still had to have some discipline to even go
Well,
that long.
definitely, because
Yeah.
here's what started my whole process was
Uh-huh.
watching my biological father. He
Wow.
passed away at 53.
Oh
He
wow. My
was so
condolences.
young. It's okay.
Yeah, my
Um,
condolences.
my therapist and I go to therapy every week. Like we've worked through,
Yeah,
life.
for sure.
But that's it scared me. And
Wow.
so that's really what kind of because there had been multiple times throughout my life where
Mhm.
I would start a diet or start a something and I would never stick to it. And
Wow.
so it was honestly like walking into his hospital room, seeing the things that he was hooked up to, and
Yeah.
it literally, it just scared me. And so I was like, well, this is going to be me in 20 years if I don't get it together.
Right, right. So that's kind of what gave you that kick, that motivation.
Hmm.
Wow, that's amazing. Well, it's
Hmm.
sad at the same time, but still,
Yeah, he was.
it's definitely something to go by. To like, okay, I'll be here if I don't make this happen for sure, for
Yeah,
sure.
because his quality of life at the end was, it was not
Right.
good. And so
Wow.
I realized, yeah, I had to change.
Yeah.
It was just a lot of emotion. It was like, well, what do you do with these feelings? So I had to
Right.
find like a productive way to like get this energy, this anger, sadness,
Right.
frustration, um,
You pretty much
out.
use it as fuel. Yeah.
Mhm.
Got you. Got you. Okay. So you started. You dropped 50 pounds in 6 months. You cut out sodas. You started walking, and you started the CrossFit, right?
Yes.
Okay, and that's probably when you started the CrossFit. It's probably when you started dropping mad weight because your workouts
Yeah.
became really intense, right?
Yes. The
How was
workouts
your diet?
became.
Oh no, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna
Mhm.
answer you. I was like, yeah, no, the workouts were really intense.
I bet.
But then my diet became, that's whenever it became really strict on my end. Like that wasn't being pushed on me. It was actually quite the opposite. Like my coaches were
Wow.
always pushing, like, make sure you're fueling your body.
Right.
Um, but it was me. And see, this is where like where it's the beginning of like where I told you it went a little too far this way. It
Right.
was me
Right.
becoming addicted to the scale dropping
Yeah. Yep.
instead of doing it in a healthy way. So like
Right.
whenever I started, I was lifting this amount of weight and I
Mhm.
weighed, whatever it was, I weighed like 200 pounds. Well,
Right.
then shift on the opposite end of that. And I'm now weighing 122 because I've essentially
Wow.
like starved myself,
Yeah. Yep.
and the weight that I'm moving was dropping. And so it started frustrating me where I was
Yeah.
like,
I bet.
what is happening?
Yeah.
And that's
For
where that
sure.
competitiveness kind of kicked in again. And
Yep.
the girls at my gym were like, well, like, look, you know.
Yeah.
And so when I really started to look at how much I had dropped, I was like, well, they always say weight moves weight.
It
And
does.
so I had to start taking that into consideration
For
and
sure.
tracking my macros
There
to
you
make
go.
sure I was doing it in a healthy way.
There you
So
go.
then I
There you go. Yeah.
definitely put some weight back on,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. For sure.
yeah.
But it's crazy you said that because I kind of did something similar. I was chasing the scale, trying to get low, and I had got down to about 194, and I was kind of like that too. Like I can see my bones and stuff, and I was like, dang, I need to start putting on muscle. Then when I
Yep,
started lifting heavy, I was like, I gotta feed it. So then I kind of like bulked up, and then you created a way to where you probably thought, okay, I can't starve myself forever. You want to make
exactly.
this a
It
journey.
wasn't like
Yeah, you wanted to make it a
manageable
journey.
life.
Yep.
Yep,
Yeah, yeah, that's amazing. You took
exactly.
it. So when you got down to 122, how long did it take you to get from 297 to 122?
Oh man. Um like over 2 years.
Yeah, that's
I would
amazing.
I would say probably like close to like 2.5 years.
Wow.
And I am sitting at like, I go between like 155, 160. I've been
Right.
sitting here at like a little over 2 years.
And that's a
So
good weight too. That's a good
yeah.
weight. Yeah, that's a definitely good weight. It looks good on you for sure. I'll be seeing you. Is that CrossFit gym that you started at when you dropped the 50 pounds? Is that the gym that you be working out at now? When I see you in
Okay.
your stories and
So
stuff?
I was there for like 4.5 years, but
Wow.
then um sometimes you need to just like change your scenery. Like
Yep.
you just kind of
Same
have to
here.
step away for a second.
Yep.
I miss my gym so much. I still call it my
Yeah.
gym.
Yep.
I haven't been there for like 6 months now. I've been kind of like
Yeah.
in
Bouncing
a
around.
traditional type
Yeah.
gym,
Yep.
but I've been thinking about going back. I
Yeah.
miss it. Like I
Yep.
miss, like the reason I went there, to be honest, was
Mhm.
because I needed solitude. Like
Right.
life was just so much was happening in life that I just needed to pull back.
Right. Right.
It was
Right.
100% on me why I left. And so, therapy and life has calmed down and
It
I'm in a
happened.
much like different mindset than I was.
Right. Right.
And so I miss it. I miss like the group workouts. I miss feeling like you're gonna die,
Yep.
and the person next to you being like, "You've got it," and you're like, "Shut up."
Yep, yep, yep. That's one of the best feelings, especially by you having that support system. I did something similar when I lost about 60 to 70 pounds. I joined the Rock Box gym too. So I did
Yeah.
the same. We took like our paths are really similar. So just to go in there and you kind of intimidate it and then you get through it and it's like, wow, I'm glad I did that. So
Yep.
now you kind of like in charge now to where you can work out on your own or you can
Yeah.
go to the group thing. So you kind of like you good now. Now it's become a journey for you. You
It
pretty much
has. It
learn.
really has. It's been a journey for sure. I call it a crazy, beautiful journey, to be
Right.
honest. That's like how I describe it because it's been wild where,
Wow.
1 minute you think you 100% have got it under
Yep.
control. And then
Yep.
next thing you know, life happens and you're having to kick sodas again, you
Yep.
know?
Yep. Yep.
So,
Yep. Yep. So how are you with like your diet? I know you say I'm the same too. Like I still indulge in some foods here and there. Like it's just something you got to have that healthy relationship with food. So are you still like in the back of your head? Like is your old self still in your mind and you kind of just learned how to like be disciplined, or do you like indulge? Do you have like cheat days? Like how do you pick and choose like how much you indulge and when you're not going to indulge, or like how's your relationship with food now?
so Monday through Friday is
Hmm.
definitely food is fuel.
Yep.
I'm a teacher, so it's really easy to pack your lunch and just take it with you because you can't leave campus anyway to like
Right.
your lunch break's like this long.
Yep. Yep.
So I will meal prep everything. So that's what I do on Sundays.
That's good.
I still do that, to this day, but like during summer breaks, I'll cook like fresh meals, but it's
Right.
still what I'm meal prepping. So Monday through
Okay.
Friday, I really do try to stay as focused as I can because on the weekends, like if
Hmm.
there's like this place that we'll go for trivia and there's food trucks, there. And so it's like if
Yeah.
I want to get some tacos or some,
Yep.
I give myself that flexibility
That's
because I
amazing.
know if I constantly deny myself something like all the time, that's where like binging could become a
Yeah,
possibility.
you could crash.
Or,
Yep.
yeah, it's setting myself up for failure. And
Yep.
so I know, if I do have like I was just in Bali for 3.5 weeks and I ate my way through that island. Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But I knew when I came back, like there was no like flexibility. Like I had to get
You
back
got to
on
lock
track.
back in. Wow,
Mhm.
wow, that's amazing. So you pretty much got your relationship with food down pat, and you understand that you can't deprive yourself from it.
Mm-mm.
So you still got to indulge. You can't like skip out. You still got to have like good food here and there, and that's just
Yeah.
a healthy relationship with it for sure. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
I
that's
try to
dope.
live by like the 80/20 rule. I don't know
Yep,
like how much, people
yep,
I don't know. You hear so many things online like eat this, don't eat that, too much of
right,
this and so it's everybody has their own preference, but
for
at
sure.
least 80% of the time I'm on track.
That's good. And that's the main thing. It's all about balance. So
Mhm.
as long as your diet is outweighing the bad, like you eat good more than you eat bad, you always gonna be good. Like you ain't gotta worry about, gaining drastic amount of weight. You always gonna be good. Then
Yeah.
I see you in love with the gym. So you good. So that's my next question. When did your love for the gym come? Like when did you say, dang, I actually love this? I look forward to going to the gym every day, or dang, I can't wait to go back tomorrow to hit some more goals. Like when did it not become like mentally exhausting? Like, man, here come this
Mm.
workout. Like when did that part hit?
So it was actually the people that I look forward to seeing first. Like
Yep.
as that relationship was building with the gym, it
Wow.
was at first I looked forward to like to the gym that I was going to,
Uh-huh.
CrossFit Willis.
Yep.
Um, they it was the people that I was looking forward to seeing the most because
Hmm.
when you see the same people every single day, you become invested in them. Like, how was your
Facts.
day? Or somebody's telling you about a project that they're working on at work. And, so it was those kind of things that I started to want to see
Wow.
first.
That's
And
dope.
then as those relationships were building, they become like a support system in the gym. So it's like whenever you have a task that you're working on,
Mhm.
there'll be somebody in the gym who's really good at it and they'll help you with it. And so they were honestly hand in hand. Like the
That's dope.
closer I became to the people at the gym, the more comfortable I felt.
That's
And
good.
that's just a personal thing. Like if I can feel like a connection with you, I feel like I can communicate with you easier
Right.
or things like that. So
Yeah.
they kind of helped foster that love for the gym.
That's good. It's like a job. You got good employees and peers. You're looking forward to go to work. So it's similar to
Absolutely.
that. Yeah, that's dope. That's dope. So that love came when you started going to CrossFit. That's when your
Yeah.
love for the gym.
Yeah. I would
Okay.
say CrossFit was something that was independent, but just competitive enough to where it was like piquing my interest in different aspects of like
Wow.
competitions. That was the very first time I had ever done like any kind of competition outside
Right.
of high school. Like, I played softball and things like that, but
Right.
as for like a weightlifting, like where your score is going to be posted for everybody to see,
That is
so
dope.
it definitely challenges you.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So
Mhm.
back to growing up. So you mentioned softball. Did you play sports your whole time growing up, or did you do softball like high school, or just like?
So I
Mhm.
was on and off
Mhm.
throughout like junior high and high school. It really
Okay.
just depended on because choir was my main focus. It was actually my
Right.
major in college.
Oh
So
wow.
really like whatever opera season I was in kind of took like precedent over anything else I was doing,
I
whether
got you.
because I played volleyball for a while. So
Okay.
sports were
Okay.
kind of there, but they
Okay.
were on the back burner because choir definitely,
Took over.
it
Yeah.
definitely took over.
Yeah. That's dope. That's dope. Okay. Okay. So back to you said you started like meal prepping and stuff like that. Did you start the meal prepping from day one, like when you cut the sodas out and started walking, or so? Okay. So when did you come in? Was you so you was just making like better choices with eating certain foods when you first started?
Yeah, it was
Okay.
overwhelming because
Okay.
whenever I first joined the gym,
Hmm.
it was very well, what are you eating? And I would have to go down and write, a list of everything I was eating. And we
Wow.
would kind of build off of what do I like and what do I not like. Because honestly, my friends tell me I eat like a 3-year-old. Like
Right.
I like raw vegetables and I don't like cooked vegetables.
That's
And
good.
it's just I'm really picky. It's a texture
Yeah.
thing. So we had to figure out what I like and
Okay.
what can I consistently eat. And then we kind of started meal prepping. But at first
Okay.
it was just kind of we got to kick sodas. So we
Right.
started there. Like that was stop drinking your calories
That was
was my
it.
main goal.
Yeah,
Like
yeah. That was
starting
amazing
out.
first start. That's amazing first start. So
Yeah.
so your meal prepping, what was your meal plan like? Was it breakfast, lunch, and dinner? And like
See,
how
so
was
now
what was your eating times?
Um, it's scheduled around my work schedule. So
Okay.
I'm eating breakfast at like 6:45 in the morning,
Okay.
lunch at 11:30, and then I don't have anything until I right before I go to the gym. I have like snacks here and there throughout the
Okay.
day, but then I don't eat dinner until I get home after the gym, which
Yeah.
is like 7:15, depending on traffic.
That's not too
Um,
bad. That's not
no,
too
it's not
bad.
too bad, but I get up
Mhm.
at 5:30 for work, and your
Yeah.
girl likes her sleep.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
My
For sure.
students take a lot of energy, so I need sleep.
I bet. I bet. Okay, so you was doing breakfast, lunch, 3 meals a day. So what was your typical breakfast like? What was something you would prepare for breakfast, lunch,
So,
and dinner? What was like? What's your like? What was something you could consistently eat that was still that had a good taste and that was still helping you hit your goals?
so for breakfast, definitely for a while, it will be scrambled eggs and like some
Okay.
type of like turkey bacon.
Okay.
And then I get tired of that after like, I don't know, 6 or so months. And then I'll
Yeah.
switch over to scrambled eggs and fajita meat.
Okay.
So I just switch up some kind of protein. For lunch, it'll always be some kind of like salad and a protein, like a grilled shrimp or chicken. Those are my two main
Good choice.
proteins that I eat. And then, or I'll do rice, depending on if I'm trying to cut, if I'm trying to maintain, depending on like what my goals
What
are.
your goals are at the time. That's good.
Hmm. And
Okay.
then dinner. usually will be something similar to that, some kind of like chicken or shrimp. Now I switch up the flavors all the time, but
That's good.
that's like my main go-to for protein. And then
Okay,
I do like a protein pasta sometimes. Sometimes I'll do like a skinny pasta,
that's good.
um, rice. I do eat lots of green beans and a lot of salad.
That's good. That's good. So all those choices are excellent. Got good protein in there, not high in carbs at all. Doesn't sound like there's no sugars in there. So you hit all like all calibers on
The-
how to
And
lose weight.
the sugars that I do get come from
Mhm.
fruit.
That's
Like
amazing.
I do eat quite a bit of fruit.
Right.
Those usually my snacks during the day. So I'll eat breakfast and then I'll have some strawberries and
Okay.
then or like a P3 pack. I don't know. Do y'all have P3s where you live?
Yeah, we do. Is that like
The
with
little
the
protein.
nuts and the little turkey and ham and stuff
Yeah,
like
the
that?
little like
Protein? Oh
protein
yeah.
pack.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Those are
So then I'll
smooth
have
too.
something like that, lunch. Um, and depending on how I'm feeling, sometimes I'll have one of those little like rice cakes.
Okay.
Ooh, okay. So one of my favorite snacks, side
Uh-huh.
note, one of my favorite snacks is the little so either the cinnamon one or the chocolate one, it doesn't really matter. But the little rice cakes and
Yeah,
then
those
put
are
some
bomb.
chunky peanut butter on top of it and then like
Oh,
squish up some raspberries.
oh. And that's something that you can substitute. Like if you got a sweet tooth,
That's
like
exactly what I
people
use
don't
it for.
understand when you got a sweet tooth, it's certain things you can go with to kind of carve that. So that was a good
Yeah.
that's a good substitute. The rice cake
Yeah,
with the
no.
peanut
I have
butter.
lots of little like
Uh-huh.
um sweet tooth type things that I
Yeah.
have found over the years that are like zero carbs, zero sugars,
Wow.
but still like will curb that,
Yeah, it'll help you. It'll help that
pretty good.
sweet tooth for sure, for
Yeah.
sure. Okay, so while we're talking about diet, what's your number one weakness, or what was and still is like your weakness of any type of food? Is it? I know some people it's sweets, it's cakes, cookies. Some people it's junk food, chips. Some people it's fried foods or
It's
whatever.
chips.
It's chips. Okay,
It's
okay,
chips.
okay, okay. What's your favorite chip?
Oh man, that's a loaded question.
Yeah, yeah, I bet it is. Okay, give me top three.
Okay, top three.
Mm-hmm.
Backwards. Top three.
Okay.
Okay. The Flamin' Hot Cheetos with lime.
Oh,
Mm-hmm. I like any type of like kettle chip, like
yeah, same here. It
kettle
don't
chips are
even
good
matter
'cause
the
those are
flavor.
like hella crunchy,
Yeah, those are
like
busting.
extra, extra crunchy.
Yeah,
And I think my third one would be maybe like the spicy nacho Doritos.
yeah, those are busting too. Those
Yeah,
are
those are
dang,
good.
all good choices. All good
I
choices.
know, man. Don't
Okay, so
you
yours
can't
is
trust
chips.
me around a bag of chips. Don't do it.
I feel you. So yours was
No.
chips. Okay.
What
So
about you?
mine's, I'm gonna have to say kettle for sure. I'm gonna have to go with Cheeto Puffs, and I'm gonna
Ooh.
probably have to go with the Ranch Wavies. They really it's hard to find them now, but those are busting.
Ooh, have you had the
Which
late man? Now you
ones?
got me talking about chips. Have you had
Yeah,
the late spicy barbecue?
I haven't. I
Mm-hmm.
is the bag kind of like a dark burgundy looking?
No.
Oh, okay,
This
not
one's from
that
a
one. I must be
basketball
talking about the
player.
tangy one. Oh,
This one has
The Jason Tatum ones, the ruffles.
those are the tangy ones
Oh
that you're
yeah,
talking
yeah,
about
yeah,
for
yeah.
sure.
Those
For
busting. I
sure.
definitely tried those. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, no, man. The other one had some basketball
Yeah,
players on. Those are so
yeah,
good. My students introduced me to those. I
yeah.
was like,
Those are busting.
man.
That's what's up. So with the diet, was it certain things like how did you create the defense for yourself? Was it certain foods that you couldn't have in the house? Like how was your refrigerator and cabinets during your like discipline times? Was it like you couldn't have chips
Oh,
in there? I'm
no.
sure.
Couldn't
Like
have chips in there for
right,
sure.
right.
Um, couldn't have sodas. I really had to like cut all of those things out
Yeah,
until I could learn self-control.
that's dope. What did you do
Yeah.
that cold turkey? Did you kind of work your way? Did you have any cheat days starting off, or like how did you do it? How
So
was your
once
balance?
whenever during that 6-month period at the beginning I was telling you about,
Uh-huh.
I definitely would still have cheat days. I wasn't as
Right.
strict, but once I started CrossFit and started that journey, then no, it was like
Yeah.
cold turkey. I was all in.
Yeah.
In CrossFit, they call it a cult, like you drink the Kool-Aid, like
Yep. Yep.
it. And so, no, absolutely
Okay.
none of that was in my house. Like it was very, just bare bones
Wow,
essential in the sense of like
that's
there
amazing.
isn't anything exciting in my refrigerator, so don't get too excited when you come over.
Right, facts. Okay, so you had that part, you had the discipline part. What kept you motivated and kept you disciplined? Was it getting on the scale and like, oh my God, I've lost 100 pounds, or was it just like what was it that shook you up to like, wow, I got to keep going? Like, what made you? Because a lot of people started lose 50 to 100, fall off, but you still killing it. Like, what was it that kept you motivated, and what still keeps you motivated and disciplined?
So at first it was definitely the scale, like you're saying,
Right,
like how low can the
right,
scale, how low can I get the scale to go?
facts.
And then it once I, relearned that relationship with food, it just became how healthy can I become?
Wow.
That was my goal. Cause like I don't have any kids of my own, but I run around with my kids at work because I teach first through fifth elementary music. So
Right,
I'm
right.
on the ground, off the ground, running around. Like we have
That's
sports day
dope.
and field day. And like I couldn't do any of those things with my kids without constantly being winded.
Wow.
So it was just like a multitude of reasons why I wanted to continue the journey because I started
That's dope.
feeling better. I started, even like in college, I would wear a lot of makeup. Like I
Right.
was like beat face, everything like
Yeah.
that. And so now like you're gonna get eyeliner and mascara.
Right,
Like I
right.
became more comfortable in my skin, more
That's dope.
comfortable with like who I am. So
Yep, yep.
that that is now what keeps me going is knowing that I I love myself.
Right,
Like,
facts. And when you lose that weight, that's the real you. Like the real you wasn't, people say, "Oh, we miss you when you was big." Like you're not the real you until you're healthy and you know your face is chiseled, you see your features. That's like the
yeah,
real you. That's who you're supposed to be. So that's
yeah.
that's that's dope. That's dope. That's dope.
I've definitely always been, kind of like I am now, but like
Okay.
I feel I feel like I'm the happiest version I've ever been of myself.
That is dope.
And yeah, I definitely don't feel like I feel younger than I was when I was younger.
That's amazing.
Um,
That's
yeah.
amazing. Okay, so how did does anybody treat you different? Not, you don't have to throw shade at nobody. Can you feel a difference from anybody or from the world in general now that you're small? Like, is it people that like what's different about how people treat you now that since you dropped away?
Oh man.
Yeah,
So I mean, I'm sure you know as well, sir.
facts.
Like
Facts.
people definitely treat you differently
Yeah, for sure.
when you're not overweight.
Right,
You know,
right,
you get that second look you wouldn't have normally gotten,
right.
or you get that side eye from that girl that you're like, no, ma'am, I don't know. I
Facts,
just need the dumbbells. Like
facts,
I just need the dumbbells. That's all I
facts,
need.
for sure.
Um, when whenever you're overweight, they don't view you as, not that I am, so don't take what I'm about to say as like
Right,
anything.
right.
They don't view you as competition or
That's true.
view you as like a threat in any kind of way. Like,
That's true.
not that I am, because I don't live my life like that,
Yeah.
but
Hey, it's okay to be
things,
cocky
no,
sometimes. It's cool. No, but I get what you're saying though. It's just you're more accepted and you're more of on the radar when you get to your best version of yourself and when you're not
yeah,
overweight for sure. So,
yeah,
mhm.
yeah.
So, oh no, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I'm gonna say it's interesting. Guys
Yeah.
that never would have looked at you before, or the exact opposite. Like some guys
Yep.
have been like, I liked you better big. And it's like,
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
crazy.
well, my arteries didn't. So
Right,
let's
right,
just start
right.
there.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. Okay, so when you were at your heaviest or like through your lifetime, what was your were you like in a relationship
Yes. So
before you
I
was?
was married. We were
Oh
together
wow.
11 years. Yeah. We
Wow.
were together 11 years. Um, Life happens
Mm-hmm.
and things happen, and some
Right,
things you can bounce back from and some you can't.
right, right.
Um,
Was
I
he
don't
was he overweight? Not to cut you off. Was he overweight too with you?
know.
Okay.
Not really. He
Okay.
wasn't,
Okay.
but he wasn't active at that time.
Got you. Do
So
ha- has he like tried to come back now that you've lost weight? Not just him, not just him. Has him or anybody that you tried before, or has anybody like tried to double back now that you've lost weight? It could even be a friend. Like, does
yeah,
anybody
I
want to hang
know they
around
have.
you? Okay, so
Guys
people are spinning the
definitely
block
have.
on you
Yeah, just
for
yeah.
sure. Okay,
No, he has not. He and I ended on very amicable terms.
that's dope. That's dope.
He's from last I heard is happily in another, relationship, has been with her for
Okay,
years. So,
okay, that's dope.
he hasn't, but others have.
I bet.
And
I bet.
see, so what we're not going to do
Yeah,
is
yeah,
that,
right.
because no, man, these guys out here and girls, like, let me
Yeah,
just clear the air right there.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
men and women alike, man.
yeah. Both on both sides. Yeah, same
It's
here.
tragic. The dating was, so
Yeah,
I keep my little head down.
yeah,
I'm on my
yeah.
business
For
because
sure, for sure. That's
mm,
dope. Okay,
mm.
okay. How's your relationship status now?
I'm
With
single.
that? Okay, okay,
Minding
okay.
my business
I
because
feel that.
I'm a Cancer. I will cry. You will make me
Yeah.
cry. It'll
So you
happen.
kind of got your guard up a little bit more than before, and you kind of know that, hey, this person only wants me. He didn't want me back then, or you can kind of catch a vibe and tell who kind
Oh,
of.
for sure.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, that's dope. That's
For
dope.
sure.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. And
How?
it's
Mm-hmm.
no, sorry, what?
No, I was gonna say, who? How does your like family and friends treat you? Are they more of like in shock and like happy for you, or is it like,
Oh yeah.
wow, that's dope, that's dope?
Yeah. No,
Did you?
I have very
Mm-hmm.
supportive friends, very
That's
supportive
amazing.
family. Like, they're all very proud of me.
That's amazing. That's dope. That's
Mhm.
dope. Okay, so what is the if you could pick one thing? Okay, I'm not gonna just limit you to one. If you could pick three things on what is the best part about this transition and this transformation, like what's the three best things? You don't have to rank them one to three, but like what's the best thing to where you sometimes when you by yourself you say, "Wow, I'm glad this happened because of this or this or this." Like what three things stands out to you the most after this transformation?
So I would have to say that, like, the number one thing is I feel physically better. Like,
Wow.
my joints don't hurt, like, from overweight. They hurt because of the gym, but like,
Right, right.
I physically can breathe without, you know,
That's dope.
restriction. And so
Dope.
because of that, um I'm able to explore and travel, like, literally, like,
That's
the world,
amazing.
to go and do, because, like, I don't need a seatbelt extender. I can go zip lining now where I couldn't do that before. Like, I can physically do things before that I just weighed too much to do or didn't feel comfortable doing
Right.
because I was overweight.
That's dope. Dope.
Yeah, and then my third one is, I would have to say, because I feel better, I'm a better friend. I'm a better
That's
teacher. I'm
amazing.
just honestly, like, just a happier human.
Yep, your energy, you increase you like you vibrate higher now than you did before.
Absolutely. My
That's
therapist and I
amazing.
talk about that all the
Yep,
time.
yep. That's
'Cause
one of the
I
things with me. Oh no, go ahead.
No, 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 what?
Yeah, I was gonna say that's one of the things with me, like my energy. It's like even before people would say, "How you stay calm?" But even now, I'm like calm in any situation because I'd be like, "Man, I like changed my life." So I know sometimes I know you like that too. It's like nothing can really make you mad because of your self. You accomplished something that you've always wanted to accomplish, and it's like, okay, at the
Yes.
end of the day, I got healthy. I added years on my life. I'm in the best shape of my life. I can do things I couldn't do before. So that's dope.
Absolutely. I
That's
always
dope.
say, you can't steal my peace, and there's
Yep,
nobody worth my peace.
yep, yep. That's
Those
big.
are
That's a
yeah.
good quote. That's a good quote. Okay, so
Yeah.
we talked about your diet. We talked about how you got there. So piggying back to like growing up, like were you always the biggest one out of your friends? Did you have like friends that were big too, or
Um, so I definitely had some friends that were also big, but yeah, I
Mhm.
was definitely the biggest and the tallest. I
Wow,
feel like I I mean, I'm only 5'5", but, like,
right,
during that time, girls are definitely shorter, more petite,
Facts.
things like that. So I felt like I was just always towering over like everybody.
Right. Wow.
So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. And now that you dropped the weight, do you have any friends or people around you that you try to motivate, or that tell you your motivation and hey, I lost weight because I seen you do it?
So there's one girlfriend like immediately that pops into my mind from my
Right.
gym.
Right.
She and I still talk all
That's
we
dope.
speak all the time. And she definitely tells me, I have watched your journey because she
Wow.
followed me on Instagram before she even actually like followed or went to the gym.
Right. Right.
I get like they had reposted me in something and she followed me. And so she
Dope.
was like, I've seen you do it. So it makes me know I can do it. And
That's
she's killing
amazing.
it. She's
That's
doing
that's
such a good
amazing.
job.
That's amazing. So where can everybody find you at? Like, what's your main platform right now to where you post like workouts, things of that nature, most like active on to where the people that see this video can come find you?
I'm most active on Instagram.
Okay.
So that's
Okay. And I'm gonna
that's
drop your
where I'm at
name.
most.
Okay.
Mhm.
I'm gonna drop your
I
name on
post
this
on
video.
TikTok also, but
Okay.
definitely Instagram mostly.
Okay. And I know your handle names and I'm gonna put it on this video, but what is it so the people will know? And that what
Scuba,
else see it anyway.
yeah, it's scuba.hippie.
Okay.
Because I scuba dive.
Okay.
So
That's
yeah.
dope. That's dope. So now that you say you scuba dive, is that something you can do better now that is it something you just picked up on after the
Mm-mm.
weight loss? So
No,
you were
I
scuba
actually
diving
started
before
scuba
too?
diving back in 2016.
Wow.
Yeah.
Could you tell a
It was
drastic change
definitely
in that?
yeah, it was definitely interesting to because I really like took a break
Wow.
in between, like during that weight loss journey. I didn't really go scuba diving very often. And so I had lost probably 100 pounds before I
Wow.
went scuba diving my next time.
That's
Um,
dope.
it was interesting, but now definitely my dives are better because my cardio is better. Like I don't
Right.
require as much air because whenever you're kicking, like let's say against the current, you're going to
Right.
use a lot more energy. And so,
That's
um,
dope.
yeah.
That's dope. That's dope. That's dope. Well, I pretty much think we touched up on everything. So now I'm gonna just leave the floor to you if you wanted to give any motivation to any women out there that's watching this or anybody that's on the weight loss journey or fitness journey. Is there anything you would like to tell them? Any tips? Well, you gave it a lot of tips during this interview, but is there anything you want to tell the people?
So the main thing that I tell anybody that I ever speak to about a weight
Hmm.
loss journey is you
Hmm.
didn't gain the weight overnight, so you're not going to lose it overnight. Like you genuinely have to trust the process. And that phrase is so frustrating because when you're not seeing progress, you're like, where's the process? Like what
Right.
am I
Right.
trusting? And
Facts.
so yeah, that's the main thing I tell them is just you really, really do genuinely have to trust the process.
Facts, facts. I preach that all the time. You got to, because that's how I was feeling before. I was like, man, I want this quick. I want it quick. And I never waited it out. I would lose like 20 pounds and I would come in like a plateau. And I'd be like, dang.
Yep.
And I'll start back eating. So,
And see, so that's where
mhm,
people, whenever those plateaus happen, and one thing I had to learn is you're not going to lose pounds and inches at the same time. So when you're
facts.
losing pounds, those inches are not going to go anywhere. You're still going to be in the same pant size. You're still going to be in the
Facts.
same shirt size. And then whenever you're not losing pounds is when you're losing, your body is redistributing things. And that's where those inches go. And
Wow.
so you're not going to do the same thing at the same time.
Facts, facts. I got one more question for you, maybe
Yeah.
two, but I got one more question for you. So you said before this last successful journey to where you just explained to us, how many other attempts did you have before that one? Like
My
how many
whole life.
times have you tried your whole life?
My
Okay,
whole
you would
life.
start and stop. Like before you lost that 50 in that first 6 months in the beginning of this successful journey, what was the most you lost before the end and like gave up or like put it back on
It would
again?
be like 15, 20 pounds, and
Okay,
then, you know, that
got
would
you.
be really about it.
Okay. And what would cause you not to stay on it? What was different those times than this time? I know you
This
had the motive.
time,
Right,
this time I was scared. Like
right, right,
reality set in
yeah,
where you can't like unsee somebody's
right.
hospital room looking the way that it did.
Facts, facts.
And so when that's like your driving force,
Yep,
it just literally takes just one little flash in your memory of like what it looked like to be like, oh yeah, we gotta keep running. We gotta
right.
keep going.
Yep.
So
Yep. That's it too. Okay. Okay. That's dope. That's dope. Yeah. Same here. I really didn't have that motivation until I started to like could feel like when I would wake up, I would say, dang, I was like, was I having like many heart attacks? Because I would wake up
mm,
tired or wake up out of my sleep, breathing heavy, acid reflux. I was like, oh no, it's time. And I was scared to go to the doctor. I was like, nah, I'm gonna try to do it myself. So before you lost the weight, I know you got that motivation. Did you have any like health scares or anything like that?
not necessarily health scares, but my
Mhm.
doctor would be like, you're pre-diabetic for sure.
Right, right.
And
That
so
part.
it was like inching that way. Like I had like maybe a year or two before I was like a full-blown diabetic.
Okay, okay. And
So
when did you start to like notice like the cutness in your body? Like when did you start to was it midway through CrossFit? Like when did you start seeing like the muscles pop and like the glutes getting better, the legs? Like when did you look in the mirror and say, wow, not only did I lose weight, but I'm actually toning up and stuff like that too?
I would say within like the first year, I
Okay,
started seeing tone definition. Um, because yeah, whenever you first start CrossFit,
right,
where I was, I did not need to be moving any kind of weights. Everything
right,
was body weight.
for
I
sure.
just needed to be able to like move my body without hurting myself before I
Facts,
added any kind of weight. So it
facts.
definitely was still more of a like transition to
Yeah, for
weights
sure.
whenever I started.
For sure, for sure.
Mhm.
Okay, what about did you experience a lot of loose skin? Like when you
Yes,
first dropped
I
the weight?
did.
Okay, okay,
So I had a tummy tuck. After
okay.
my surgeon made me maintain my weight for a year before
Mhm,
she would do my tummy tuck.
mhm.
She said that I needed to get to the weight that I wanted to be at, and then we would go from there because
Wow.
there's no sense in losing more weight after your
Right,
tummy tuck because then it's pointless. But
right.
yeah, no, I got it because, well, honestly, whenever I was in the gym, all of that skin, like doing box
Yeah.
jumps and
Yep,
throwing weights around, like
yep.
it was just too much. And
I
then it
feel you.
was not like, it just wasn't easy to like maintain.
For
I was
sure.
constantly concerned about making sure I wasn't going to get like, an infection
Yep,
or anything like that. Like the skin it just had to go.
yep. And that's just one of the exclamation points on a weight loss journey. It's like, okay, I done my work. Now I got to get rid of this excess that I got because of the weight that I had put on or originally had.
Yeah. And that's kind
Yeah,
of
for
how my
sure.
surgeon like explained it.
Yep.
She was like, this is
Yeah.
the final step of
Yep.
like your metamorphosis.
Yep. 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 For sure. For sure. But up until then, the weight loss, you did everything naturally. Like
Hmm.
you didn't have no surgery, no.
My diet and
Wow, that's amazing.
CrossFit.
That's dope. That is
Yeah.
dope. That is amazing. My last question for you: Did Was it perfect all the way through, or did you deal with something along the way that almost made you relapse? Or
Oh,
did you deal with nights to where you was like, man, can I keep doing this? Like, did you deal with any of that at all?
oh, definitely.
For
So
sure.
I was going strong, like,
Right.
and then my grandpa passed away,
Oh wow. My
and that
condolences.
that completely derailed me,
Yep.
like to a point to where, I kind of touched on like my Bali trip that I went on,
Right.
and a lot of people view that as like, oh, she's doing da 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 da, but people have
Right.
no idea. Like my purpose there was to heal
Yep.
because I started making poor food choices. I
Wow.
started like drinking sodas again. It was like completely grief driven. And
Wow.
so, my therapist and I, we've been working on it. Um, and it's definitely getting better. But
Right.
yeah, Yeah. That
That's
was definitely a situation where I just was eating all my feelings.
right. Now, how much weight? So since you lost the weight, or any time during that transition, did you ever put on a lot of weight back on? Like, what was your
Mm-mm.
max weight that you ever gained back, or did you
This
always
is
shake back and just?
since I've lost all that weight, this is actually
Mhm.
the heaviest I've been again.
Wow.
So, and I've just been kind of just chilling right here
Yep.
between
Yep.
like 155, 160.
That's a good weight too. That's a good weight. Okay, so
So,
you got your weight to where you can kind of maintain and
mhm.
stuff like that. Oh, that's dope. That's dope. All right, Brandy. So I pretty much just want to give you flowers again. Amazing transformation. I'm gonna put your before and after pictures throughout this video so everybody can see the amazing job you did as well. But definitely want to give you a flower. How it is from a woman, I can only imagine it's just as tough as it is, for a man, because you guys are a little bit more emotional than we are. So things can kind of like alter you and things like that. But I just overall know how tough it is to make that transition. And again, you look great, amazing transformation. Way to be disciplined and consistent. And I'm proud of you. I'm happy for you. And keep grinding. Um, keep going. Any women out there, if you want to stay motivated, follow her. I'm gonna drop her Instagram tag here. She posting her stories daily of her working out, meals here and there. She posts content and stuff like that to keep you motivated. You guys follow her for sure. Other than that, Brandy, excellent interview. Nice meeting you. We've been following each other on Instagram for probably quite some time.
Yeah, it's been a
Yeah, quite
minute for
quite some
sure.
time, but
And
definitely
you've
nice to meet you.
killed it also. Like, I
Appreciate it.
know we've
Appreciate it.
been talking a lot about me, but
Yeah,
you've killed it for sure. I look at your
yeah.
videos and I'm like, dang, like, okay.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and close up again, Brandon. Nice meeting you. Excellent spirit. I'm glad we did this interview. This is actually
Me
episode
too.
1 of my weight loss transformation story. So you're the very first one I've ever did,
Oh my
and
gosh.
stuff like that. So yeah, this is dope. This is dope. But other than that, guys, YouTube, we out. You guys comment below what you guys think about Brandy's transformation. And any feedback, we greatly appreciate it. But other than that, YouTube, we out.
You gotta make it through your situation. Whatever you're going through, just be patient.